Well, thanks for dropping into my shop here with me. And here's another fascinating radio from the 1920s that I really don't know much about again. Well, those would look like cooling holes across the back. This would be probably the hole that your cables would go in and out of to go to your batteries, unless the batteries are inside here. I don't think they would normally keep batteries inside. You see two controls. So this one's kind of loose and floppy. That's our rheostat. That's also a rheostat. So we have two rheostats. There's the pointers. That's got to be the headphone jack. And a sticker here, much of which has disappeared. Monarch Radio Corporation, Toronto, Canada. And I haven't been able to find out anything about this radio so far. Now I did take a brief look at this radio. I brought, it must have been in the summer or late fall. But I actually really haven't had a chance to try anything with this one. So let's take a look at it here. Run through it. There we go. Now the first thing I noticed that's different about this radio than the last one we looked at is look at the wiring. Like look at this wire here. So this is a professionally wired radio. This is a professionally built radio. I don't think there's any doubt. This looks like a professional piece here. All the labels on it. And basic layout of it. Everything is laid out straight and square. The controls are balanced on the front and all that. So there's a few things about this one we can take a look at. What is this? Another grid leak capacitor and resistor. It's very similar to the last radio. It doesn't look identical. This was an excellent detector. The grid leak detector is an excellent detector for strong signals. It has 3 tubes in it. That strikes me as a lot for a radio of this vintage. But that, I don't really know. I'm not an expert in this at all. There's the 2 rheostats. One there. One here. Let's see what that looks like. I really apologize. It's backwards for me, so that feels fine. Could be a piece move around in there. I wonder if it's spring loaded. And that's why it moves like that. It's a very nice control. Let's look at the other one. We'll see the same effect here. A little bit, yeah, it seems to move a little bit. That would be how they would maintain a very uniform pressure, I guess. a spring inside there. Feels very nice though on the control. Surprising. You'd think after all these years, corrosion and that would have roughened everything up. So here's an interesting set of coils here. See how that works? It goes from being perfectly in line to being completely out of line. There's the minimal interaction like this, maximum interaction like that. Curious how it actually turns, but it's kind of neat, eh? You can imagine how space age this kind of stuff looked to people back in the 1920s, or maybe a little bit earlier. Maybe by the 1920s, this kind of stuff wasn't that unusual. And I don't think a lot of people owned a radio in the early 1920s. It says Cleveland down there on the Cleveland. So what tubes are these now? This is a UX 201, 201A. Don't know about this one. That's the last one. It's got a crack. I think I see a crack in the case of it there. Right there. Down to the screw there. Is that? No, that's a reflection of a screw. Yeah. So look at this. There's the Thordarson amplifying transformer. Turns ratio 6:1. Now this transformer is no more amplifying than any transformer is amplifying. Yeah, it increases the voltage like any transformer does. Provided it's a step-up transformer. But back then they called it the amplifying transformer. Thordarson. I don't know. Positive B plate, secondary. Interesting. Now take a look at the variable capacitor here. I was saying before, I wish I could do some of these on 3D, but yeah, I can actually. Just I don't think it's possible not to on YouTube. And then there's this transformer. What is that? Is that a transformer or just a coil? I think it's just a coil. No. Nope. There's leads. The top and the bottom. Well, there's another capacitor kind of around the side here, hanging by wires. I almost missed that one. Boy, those capacitors, they're not sealed in any way at all. So that's it. So what do we got? So we got the grid leak. We got the 3 tubes. We got the 2 transformers. We got this pretty cool coil situation here. 2 rheostats. And of course, the last thing is the headphone. Okay, so that's a quick look at this radio, and I wonder, I might be able to make this one work too. have to learn some stuff though, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching.